grand finalists produce a classic blend of football in one of the all-time great quarters of electrifying action. At headquarters, the Bulldogs stormed back into the 5, crushing the Eagles with ease. It was a bitterly cold day in the stands. The teeth were chattering and the knitting needles were clicking. The action was explosive at Prospect as the Roosters sought revenge against the reigning premiers. Spirits were high and the action tense as both sides threw caution to the wind. With more details, it's over to Peter Marker.
And that, of course, is Stephen Kernahan in the grandstand there. Yes, a very important game. League leaders North Adelaide up against grand final defenders Glenelg. And, of course, when they first met earlier this season, North too good. They kicked inaccurately, but they beat Glenelg rather convincingly. Now, there's no doubt that this game is going to dominate headlines during the week. If you want to know why, watch the replay. Let's see how it pans out. We'll pick it up right at the opening bounce.
The Bays have pulled a Swifty before the siren has gone. Gibbs off and Scott Salisbury into the back pocket. Simons moves as well, but the long-awaited clash between league leader North Adelaide and the Bays is underway. They drive up towards full forward. Here's a chance taken off the fingers there by the North Adelaide player in Michael Poynton, but quickly it is floated out of play and Scotty Salisbury is going to get the penalty-free kick. Well, you may have seen it, you may not have. Neil Curley.
And that was a magnificent bit of reading by young Jarman out the centre. He could see that Carey had full use of the ball and he just read the ball beautifully, cut between the Glenelg rover and took it away.
Just in case you didn't see it, Ross Gibbs lined up in the back pocket and then quickly just before the siren the interchange was made. Gibbs off the ground, Salisbury on, Maynard, McDermott, Alan Stringer has to get rid of it in a hurry over to his brother Wayne. Off the half back line, out goes Tony Hall, beautifully put. Hall's got it centre wing. Stringer doubles back for the double play. They don't need him going in long. Up towards Coffing. Thumped away from that player. Back in defence it is Riley. Quickly now Reid on the left leg. Hooks it back in towards McDermott. No, it's going to be quickly Seebohm on the lead. And he's got the ball 30 metres out in front. Moves aplenty before the game has even started. A battle of tactics. Seebohm from 30 metres out pops it through. The Bays are on the way. A goal. North Adelaide yet to score.
Good constructive football by Glenelg then. Coming out the back pocket with a chain of hand passes. Alan Stringer was very aware. He saw the... I don't know if he knew the chap was coming on his blind side, but he must have because he got a beautiful handball out of his brother Wayne. Beautiful kick to Hall. A lovely hook back by the new player, and of course Seebohm finished it off. Good goal, Glenelg.
Very little breeze here this afternoon to worry either side. Peter Carey, who booted 11 against North Adelaide in 1973 and got a big job to do today in the twilight of his career, but playing tremendous football for the Bays in recent weeks. Carey against Parsons in the middle. The Bays have got the first score. Their angle bangs it through. First goal to North Adelaide. Scores are tied away.
Well, that's a big move by Glenelg to take an informed Gibbs out of the back pocket to put Salisbury, who's had a couple of weeks rest, to pick up damaging rovers, and who knows, it may well react against Glenelg because Salisbury was caught on his wrong leg then and couldn't get back in time.
Leanne off to a good start at the centre bounce. Crowd of about 10,000 people. Conditions cold. Parsons against Carey. Maynard off the fingers, a high one. Hall making a metre to get there. Great mark. He's got some pace. Tony Hall about 35-40 metres out, head on to goal. Kicking wind assisted. Fine player, one of the few with a long Guernsey on. Can understand that. 10.6 degrees or something similar. Kick underway, it's straight. Will it be long enough? Home and home. The Bays 2 without a miss. Hall's first. 2 goals to North Adelaide 1. Great action on Sevens Big League.
Of course, that came from a bad knock direction by Parsons. He gave the ball straight to Maynard, whose long kick found Hall, who started from behind Armfield, but his pace got him there ahead. Armfield not noted for his pace, and they could be in trouble there because it looks like Riley has to pick up the pass to moving Marshall.
Michael Parsons against Carey in the middle. All 200 centimetres of him. Up and over Carey on that occasion. Maynard burrowing in the bottom. Fierce attack at the ball by McDermott. Hard. And again a bounce. It was Henwood, in fact, who went in very strongly, not McDermott. And he's splattered in mud at the moment. Very sticky in that middle square, but apart from that, the ground in excellent condition. The tap back headed in Alan Stringer's direction. Coming clear as Andrew Jarman. Hooks around the corner. Chance for Poynton. On his wrong foot, will kick with the right. It's gone deep into the pocket. Andrew was after it, almost fingertip. Play on the call by Parkfield. Players going very strongly again, and that mark just eluding Antrobus on that occasion.
David, if I was Graham Corns, I would make the Garton-Gibbs move right now. Poynton's going to have too much pace for Garton.
Very slippery player is Michael Poynton, capable of kicking goals off his half-forward flank. Players again going in ferociously. Finally, that handball is out to Bennett. Bennett fires into the goal. Oh, he's got it! Second goal for North Adelaide. It came from a beautiful handball. Bennett finished it off, and again the scores are tied away at 2 goals each.
Well, that's been North Adelaide's secret to success this year, their ability to get the quick handball out from a pack. We saw it then to perfection, and Bennett, a very athletic looking young man, to hook a very, very good left foot goal, and he had to get it back very sharp, and he did that to perfection.
Umpire Mark Mackey was down to umpire this game, but Rick Kinnear is in control with Jim Field. He puts it down. Parsons, who's got the first 2 taps away, but this time Hart comes out with a football, a high one to the half-forward line. Bennett searching for it. Grenville to Garton is good football. A tumble punt to the half-forward line. The bounce will count. Hall, McDermott looks now for the lead of Seebohm, going over his head, a long one, getting back desperately, won't make it there as Welding. Fine goal, McDermott first. The Bay's now 3 without a miss. In fact, there's 5 goals being kicked without a miss here at Prospect.
Well, if this is what we can expect for the remainder of the day, it's going to be a fantastic football match. Both sides have opened very confidently. They're moving the ball with great skill, and their pace through the half-forward line is great. And we have 5 goals scored in a very short time, about 6 minutes, and it's going to be a great football match, this one.
Yes, it's certainly looking that way, Neil. 6 minutes, 5 goals. 3 to Glenelg, 2 to North Adelaide. Very little breeze. Perhaps, if anything, the Bay's going with it, but really nothing to speak about. Parsons gets a hurry kick, which is smothered. Got it back again. Ken Comp now the chance. The handball is into the open space. Wayne Stringer out in front, gets it on to McDermott. Perhaps a little lucky, but they're clear. McDermott goes towards half-forward. Henwood was going the wrong way. Clisby under pressure, robbed by Hall. He's already beaten 1. Make that 2. What a goal! Tony Hall, brilliant football off the half-forward flank. He beats 2. The Bays go to 4 goals straight. North Adelaide are 2. Top action on 7's big league.
Well, you go a long way before you see a better individual effort than that. Hall, that was absolutely magnificent. A very good tackle on Clisby, recovered, got the ball, and how he got around his body for that goal, well, only class players can do that.
24 points to 12. What a start here at Prospect. Parsons against Carey. Carey giving away quite a few centimetres in height. The bounce favours Parsons. Doesn't want to knock it. Tapped it out towards David Kernahan. Concedes ground to Alan Stringer. Back to Kernahan and the double play. Caught on the lefty. There's a brought on behind play. Umpire Kinnear's got to go back and separate it. Stringer's in there. Play goes on. Tiller bombs the ball back towards Hart. There's players there not even know what's going on. Bennett through the half-forward line. Carlaw it is. Carlaw bounces his way clear. Closing at 35 metres. Shoots a goal. And it's touched right on the last line. Brilliantly done then by Adam Garton. And the fight, which I lost track of, has broken up back centre field.
Kick in now from Cruz. Fine signs. Oh, he's off. Called the play on. Lost it. Chance for Redden. Hooks with the left. Well smothered by Cruz. In goes Cruz again. Comp, who was in that melee a few seconds ago, is the strong tackler. But umpire Kinnear says the ball was held to him, and oops, a daisy. Just be careful, boys.
Well, David, when you get a match of importance of this, you're going to get hard, tough footy, and tempers will flare, and we'll see a lot of that today.
Good hard struggle. Glenelg in 5th spot at the moment. 1-8, lost 7. Vital one for them. Hart screws around the corner. In the square, Redden. Poynton, the crumbs. Couldn't handle it. Well, Garton strongly. Free. Tie tackle. Redden's not happy. Remonstrating with Garton. But he's got the free kick in his 200th league game for North Adelaide. What a performance by Michael Redden performer he's been for North Adelaide.
It certainly has, Dave. But I question that free kick. Garton did go in strongly, but the ball was there, and Redden, of course, was down on his knees.
Redden has it, 20 metres out, directly in front. North trailing by 11 points. Make that 5. Goal to Redden, his first. 3-1 North. Trail the Bays, 4 goals.
A short story about a tall family.
We like everything tall.
So they got the Sigma high roof wagon.
It's tall, Dad.
And off they went to pick up this tall load.
Plenty of leg room.
And because they chose the dynamic Astron Mark II engine, they had all the power to climb this tall hill. Sigma high roof wagon for the long, the short,
Come on, Shorty.
and the tall. From Mitsubishi, car maker of the year again.
The medium-sized Hoover Premier has a stainless steel washboard. The competition does not. People are watching. That's why Hoover is ahead of the rest.
From Goodyear comes a totally new kind of tire, Vector, with a revolutionary crisscross tread that gives you grip and comfort. It simply performs like no other tire in the world. Vector from Goodyear.
7 Jump! Tigers! Roosters! Redlegs! Redskins! Double Blues! Magpies! Warriors! Eagles! Panthers! Bulldogs! 7 Shop!
Support your footy team with Channel 7 Footy Sweats. Available only from the 7 Shop Market Plaza, Moonta Street City.
Sunday night at 7:30.
Clear off.
A worried Derek puts his life on hold, and Simon is nearly cut off. Then at 8, the laughter keeps rolling when Grace Brothers shoot their own commercial. Me and My Girl and Are You Being Served? Sunday on 7.
4 goals, plays 3-1. The top first 10 minutes, Parsons against Carey at the centre bounce. Parsons again gets the benefit of it, can't get it out clearly. Antrobus, Salisbury, Jarman. Down he goes, the free kick goes the way of the North centre player. He's got it midfield to put the Roosters into attack. Off goes Bennett. He's coming out wide here to Armfield, who slipped upfield. Redden wants it in high, it's going in high. Redden at the back of the pack, quickly back Carey, going through Garden, aerial ping pong. Clock can't get out of the pack. Quickly in there, he's going to get a free kick. Oh, could be a little fortunate. Clock tried to break his way through the pack, and I think the umpire has possibly ruled a high tackle, and Klomp has an opportunity to put the home side in front from 35 metres out. The kick is just a little chip, and it's gone across the face of goals. A point only, North Adelaide 3-2, the Bays 4 without a miss.
Yeah, I think they're going to be real free kicks when they're in front of goal like that, and I don't think that was a real one.
Cruz brings it back into play, comes grandstand side. Chance for Big Henwick from behind. Lost sight of it. Now Murphy. Back to Simons. Oh, unloaded was Tony Simons. Alan Stringer's got front position. Butters up well. Alan Stringer goes out wide to the lead of Tony Hall. With him Riley. Getting back is Tiller. Also Philip Reid for the Bays. Did that well. Over the top it'll go to Hall. He's already booted 2 but didn't get a favourable bounce. Great football back to Reid. Reid into the open goal. Banks it through. Oh, brilliant football from the Bays. Reid's first. The Bays have kicked 5 straight. North Adelaide are 3-2.
Well, Maynard has just gone off the field for Ross Gibbs to come back on, but that was brilliant football by Hall. He really is a dangerous player down there, and now John Riley, the experienced veteran of that defence of North Adelaide, he's going to have his hands full today to try and contain this brilliant number 11.
Yes, Neil, I agree with you. Riley is as good as any defender in the league, and he's already had his opponent boot a couple and give away another one. 5 goals, plays 3-2 at the centre bounce. 13 minutes gone. Parsons against Carey. This time the bounce favours Carey. Back knocks it to Antrobus. Smothered off the boot. Clisby. Matthew Campbell under pressure. The umpire ruled a push in the back. Campbell at centre half back bolts off. Out wide is Carlaw. Hard heads in that direction as well. Carlaw out there with Wayne Stringer, who goes for the spoil. In goes Alan Stringer. Oh, you would have knocked some over the fence if he hit anyone with that. Hard. Puts puts it up in the air. Gardon's going to get a run on this one. Poynton edges him out. Here's a chance. Carlaw through the pack. Can't get the kick away. Poynton wants back-up support. Getting back there is Bennett. Looks to be a high tackle. Or who is it? It is Peter Bennett who's going to get a free kick for a high tackle. Gee, do you think it's on out there? Had Alan String at anyone? Gee, anything could have happened. A high kick by Bennett. Carey, oh, a lot of pushing and shoving there. The umpire says infringement on Parsons. Edged out before the ball was in 5 metres. And Parsons has been given the ball on the edge of the square. And it ought to be a gimme goal. Michael Parsons to the north end. Pops it through, his first. North Adelaide come back 4-2 to the Bays, 5 goals.
Yes, that free kick was there. Cruz didn't have to do what he did there. Carey had the high ball well covered, and Cruz came in and just belted Parsons right out of the path of the ball, and it was unnecessary, that sort of football.
What a game, 5 goals. The Bays, 4-2 North Adelaide, and we've had 14 minutes of the first quarter. Tit for tat at the moment. The Bays kicking those 5 goals straight. Saying before, they're in 5th spot at the moment. They've won 8, lost 7. A vital game for them. North Adelaide, of course, sitting pretty on top of the table with 12 wins and 3 losses. Parsons against Carey. Salisbury tagging Antrobus today. Getting through as Armfield. Caught with it. Play on is the call. Soccer off the ground from Kernahan on Brill. Football again from Hall. Over to Marshall. Marshall 50 metres out. Goes for distance. Gets it, but doesn't get the accuracy, and it's on again behind play. Henwood and Hart, Carey and Clesby.
Yes, Parsons took objection to Henwood coming through the pack there and upsetting him a bit.
There's fights everywhere. Arnold gets the kick in. Campbell underneath the ball with Hall. Ball comes out now. Here's a chance. Simon's on the left leg, heads for home, but he's going to be offline. And it's a minor score only. The Bays 5-2, North Adelaide 4-2, but what a great 16 minutes, Neil.
Yes, it's good hard footy. We haven't seen anything bad yet. It's been good, strong, solid football. That's what you expect from 2 top sides.
Paul Arnold to bring it back into play. There's a mud-covered man out here. It's difficult to find who it is. Might have been Michael Armfield, I think. Couldn't mark it. Players in strongly again, and umpire can hear forced to bounce. There he is.
He looks like the Loch Ness Monster.
It's number 16. You wouldn't know it, but it is Michael Armfield. Henwood's covered in mud also. Umpire sorted the free kick out. It's going North Adelaide's way, and Trevor Clisby will take it at half-back. Clisby back into the side today from injury. Got the knee injury a couple of weeks ago. John Riley should mark. And does. Plays it on to Armfield. Armfield will go short. Chance for Parsons. Grenville in late. Parsons takes it. Oh, that's a bit of an act, Michael. I think he missed him by about 3 feet. Parsons lays it off to Campbell. Over the top to Darren Jarman. On to Antrobus. He's going to be run down. Oh, the tackle was laid. He puts the ball on. And umpire Field pays the free kick to Antrobus. Antrobus at half-forward left. Boone won already. It's too far out to score here. Redden on a lead, but Antrobus goes for distance. Where's Redden? He's in the middle of that pack. Grenville takes it off hands. Boots it back in the Antrobus territory, but at the back it's Campbell. Oh, slight fumble. Arnold a long way up from his full back. With him Seebohm. Beautifully done, Arnold. Andrew Jarman to brother Darren. And North Adelaide have got possession at half-forward left. Now, Darren Jarman possibly within range, about 45 to 50 metres out. Redden on a lead, but Jarman heading goalward. The drop punt is drifting across as the breeze pushes it into the square. It's a North Adelaide mark. Redden's back there. And a good mark in the square for Michael Redden. Kicked one from a free about 8 minutes ago. That a superb mark in the square, the chance to bring up his second. A goal would tie the scores away again as we approach the 18-minute mark of what has been a stupendous game of football. Redden from point-blank range, boots his second, two to Redden. North Adelaide go to 5-2. Glenelg Park to it. Tremendous action on Seven's big lead.
At this stage, North Adelaide have got more players doing things, whereas Glenelg are relying on a handful of players players to get the side moving. I think Glenelg got a few players, or 2 players out there. They've got to concentrate more on the ball. If you're going to win a footy match, you've got to get the ball first, and they're not. A couple of them out there are not doing that. They're just concentrating on running at bodies.
Also, they have 9 free kicks to nothing, North Adelaide. Clough, Andrews, ploughs his way through the mud. The kick is smothered off the boot, half-forward line. Carlord, look for Jarman. Andrews, half-forward line, good football. Here's a chance now, the long kick underway, up towards full forward. Redden again! Oh, Poynton's taken it off him. Redden into it. Poynton, take your pick. Poynton has got it. Only 20 metres out. Almost a cardinal sin had they spoiled one another. But Poynton should not miss from about 10 to 15 metres. An awkward looking kick, but he's nudged it through his burst. And the Roosters have hit the front. First time for the afternoon. 6-2 to the visitors, 5-2.
And the first quarter at Prospect was one of the best ever quarters of football seen in Adelaide. It certainly tightened up in the second quarter, and the third quarter just as tight. And just after the start of the last quarter, Hall got another goal for the Bays. Seebohm kicked a point to stretch Glenelg's lead by 13 points. Let's pick it up at the 5.5-minute mark now of the last quarter.
Off into the front spot, but it's McDermott again getting the ball forward. Maynard up and running again. Kernahan in goes Cook once more, but Kernahan evades that one. Oh, good diving mark, Kevin Fisher. And as Ian told you a few seconds ago, he's played most of the game today. Wildy went off in the first 5 minutes. There's a good pass. Carlord's got it, and he's on the defensive side of the centre.
Carlord put the Northerners into attack. A high kick to the half-forward line. Bennett up there doing battle with Murphy. Wayne Stringer towards the line. With him is Arnold up in offence now, and just wondering what he's doing up there. He just chased up his player in Seebohm. What are both of them doing up there? The throw in, half forward, right flank. North Adelaide need a goal and need it quickly. Carey and Parsons can't find it. The Ant gets it back, puts a long one in towards full forward. Out comes Redden, one-handed, can't complete it. Hard in there, McFarlane through, joined by Gibbs. The Bays on their lonesome at centre wing. 2 of them 30 metres clear. Stringer's the one that is chosen at centre wing. Shepherded, in comes Campbell. Draws the player. Marshall, a long kick. Tony Hall again. Coffin swoops on the crumbs. Can't get it out. Play on is the call. Forced out. Coffin still in the action. Riley over the top. But at last it's a free kick. It's going to Philip Reid.
I'd like to comment here on the umpires. Since quarter time, they've handled this game extremely well. Full marks to them.
Philip Reid with the free kick plus his 15 metres has brought him to 35 metres out. The Bays by 13 points. Reid looking for his second goal. A neat looking kick, that's home. The Bays edge clear, 18-7 to 14-12.
Once again, we saw the value of the Glenelg play when they can move the ball freely coming out of half-back and use the open spaces. They've done this with telling effect in past time. They've found players prepared to run to the spots. The movement has been way up in front, and they've used the ball very well. And at this stage, they are definitely outplaying North Adelaide.
Yes, it's been a good start to the final quarter. 7.5 minutes gone, and the Bays have added 2 goals, 1. North Adelaide haven't scored, and the Bays at the moment well on the way to keeping their very good record intact here at the Prospect. Only 2 losses in 11 years here. They won in 85, and of course they went on to win the grand final in 85. Kernahan caught. Bennett clear, needs help. Forced onto the right foot. Now goes to the handball, but it's a wild one. Grenville cuts across right. Kim Bob goes after him again. Grenville can't get it out, and umpire can hear the bounce. 8 minutes into the final quarter, the Bays leading by 19 points in what has been an action-packed game. In the very first bounce, we saw 16 goals kicked in the first quarter. Remarkable first quarter it was, 8 apiece. North went in with a 2-point lead. Here's a chance for the Bays now. Maynard hurt behind play. Marshall's got it. Out it goes in the direction of Simons. Oh, beautifully put by Marshall. Value for kicks today. Around the corner goes Simons. Coughing in front. Fisher from behind. Close to the line. Hall, who's 35, looks to Reid. Across comes Tiller and forces it out of play.
Gee, at Peter Carey come onto the ground at the start of the commencement of a game. You wouldn't think he'd see a game out, but he has battled so hard throughout this game.
Throwing in the right forward pocket for the Bays. Henwood against Clisby. The bodies go in. Clisby gets a tap away looking for Riley. Out comes Copping. Andrew Jarman put in a quite one than normal. Gives a chance through the half-back line to his brother Darren. Tries to draw the player. Sees Fisher running now the end. Plows through the centre. Puts the pass out on the way towards the half-forward line. Pointing. Can't get it down. McFarlane doing a good job in the spoil. Taps the ball towards the line. And there it goes out of play in the right forward pocket.
Again, what a marvellous player John McFarlane has been for the Bays over many years. Written off last year, and I think Neil was appointed captain of the reserves, in fact, but he fought his way back.
He's been written off by 2 coaches throughout his career.
A throw in. Bennett against Carey. What a magnificent performer. Carey into the back somewhat of Bennett. Too many players in there for the umpire to see. And Rick Kinnear will bounce again. Still on that half-forward right flank towards the pocket. Players getting a little tired, and tired they might be. Gee, they've put in plenty. A little bit of byplay there. I don't know what's going on. Carey struggling to get to his feet. Maybe just a touch of cramp. My advisor again. Stringer thumps it out of play.
But gee, do you think Peter Carey's not tired? You know, Graham Corn's got to give him some relief in a minute.
Wayne Henwood sitting at centre half forward. He could be the one used, and probably should be. Pretty quiet one, Henwood. Murphy's done well. Bennett troubled him in the third quarter. Gibbs's kick has gone wide. Out of play. Andrews will get the free kick. So the Roosters will go deep into attack. Andrews. Kick number 13. Deep into the pocket. It appeared to be marked to Murphy, but not played. Grenville goes across to lend support. He's held. Plays the call on. Finally, the ball was forced out of play in that right forward pocket. Re-shifting just a little. Favouring the end to which North Adelaide are kicking. 11 minutes into the final term. The Bays in front by 19 points. The question to be asked is, can they hang on as Sanders gets one on its way? It's gone very high. Or Redden backing into it, couldn't take it. And finally McDermott is forced out of play. Well, in fact, the ball went through for a point. Point to North Adelaide, their first score for the quarter. They're 14-13, trailing the Bays 18-7.
Gibbs kicks in and kicks in well. Finds Alan Stringer. Maynard gives him a lead at centre wing to edge the Bays out of defence. He's going short to Marshall. Took a good mark, but hooks around the corner. Up towards Tillage underneath the ball. Grenville will does it beautifully. Maynard one to beat. Gives a chance now. Henwood back to Maynard in the 1-2. Maynard through the half-forward line. Has one bounce. Puts it on its way. Copping with him there is Fisher. Fisher thumps it clear. Quickly socketed by Seebohm. Good run. An unbelievable suspenseful moment for the Bays. Almost a goal, 1 point only. 18-8 to 14-13.
12 minutes gone as Arnold comes grandstand side. Fisher against Copping. Now Carmore. Hadn't lost it. Right now, Kernahan close to the line, but gets a kick forward. Seebohm out in front of Arnold. Swings onto the left boot. Oh, it's gone across the face of goal. Darren Jarman a chance. Hall after him, but he won't catch him. Darren Jarman bouncing his way out of defence. Wants somebody to give it to. Finally, Parsons. Back to Campbell. Now look at the run. Campbell clear. Goes long into the pocket. Drifting back and bent down in front of Murphy and takes a fine mark. Peter Bennett. 55 metres from goal. We saw Maynard kick one from almost the identical spot, but this one won't make the distance. Cruz in front. Here's the go. Andrew Jarman sockers. Perhaps could have taken it. Cruz goes for the goal and punches it through. 1 point to the Roosters.
Certainly some desperate football out there now, and a little bit of tension coming into the game. You can feel the players starting to tighten up a bit.
Do you ever? Carey. Super almost made the grade. The umpires paid the mark. But still 10 out of 10 for effort. It's not a popular decision to make in front of the home stand. Especially not when they are 18 points down. But what a marvellous player Carey has been today and for many a year for the Bays. Marshall, a very damaging player since half-time. Maynard gives the lead. The Bays playing with confidence. Off goes Tony Hall. Maynard's going to get it. Centimetres inside the line. Maynard to put the Tigers into attack. Off goes Copping on the lead. He wants it at centre-half forward. Tony Hall there with him as well. It's going to be Coppin gets the leap away. Fine mark. Too far out to score. One-on-one in the square. Off goes Seebohm. The pass is out. Seebohm! Fine mark. Beautifully put. And Seebohm has got the chance from 30 metres out. Can he do successfully what he's missed out on his last 3 tries? This was put an awful edge for the Bays. Kick coming back for the goal. Fine one now. Seebohm's third. And the Bays have put their 19th on the board. Could be a match-winning lead. 19-8 to 14-14.
24 points, 4 goals in front. The Bays carrying a beautiful pass to McDermott. They go towards half forward. Almost Riley, nearly Hall, but certainly Tiller. Out wide to Campbell. Not expecting that. Chance out for Marshall. Marshall will go with the long handle to Maynard. Maynard should go over the top to Simons. Simons is clear. 35 and closing. Puts one on its way, but it's not flowing. And 1 point only. But an important point, in fact, because it puts the Bays 4 goals and 1 point in front. They're 19-8, leading North 14-14.
The Bays doing the attacking, even though they start kicking into the green. Simon's a chance. Dummies beautifully. Sets it on its way again up towards Tony Hall. Can't quite get there. Andrew Jarman in defence. North Adelaide starting to struggle now. Parsons against Carey. Henwood raising a gallop. Whips out a handball. Marshall and Murphy. The Bays irrepressible at the moment. Puts out the long one. Simons against Armfield. Now joined back in defence quickly there by Fisher. But it's Armfield who kicks North Adelaide out of defence. Henwood up. Well outmarked there by Bennett. He's played pretty well. Gives a chance now for Hart, who needs a set. North Adelaide need goals, and they need them quickly. Hart, a long kick to the half-forward line. Up towards Poynton. Thumped away by McFarlane. Here's a chance now on the half-forward line by Carlaw up towards full forward, and it beats Cruz out of play.
Your full marks to all the players. They're really putting in. There's a lot of tired players out there, and none more, of course, than Peter Carey, who just is absolutely picking them up and putting them down.
Adam Garton and Scott Salisbury warming up on the sidelines. Perhaps Garton may be used as to give Carey a rest, but he's winning the ball and winning it well. Every touch is an important one. Stringer towards half forward. Parsons couldn't get down to it. Hall, 4 to beat. Parsons takes it. Hands it off to Andrew Jarman. Runs into trouble. Or they're conceding ground. The handball's wide of Tiller. Port still manages to kick forward. Meets him heavily. Down goes Stringer. Gets a high tackle. And he'll get it at centre wing.
I thought it was a pretty good body tackle by Anthony.
Stringer gets it. Ball looks a little groggy. Former North Adelaide player, the brother Stringer, transferred to the Bays. Maynard, kicked high towards half forward. Henwood was late. Jarman the chance from that rebounding punch. Gets cleverly to Tiller on the clock. Campbell's on the end of that. Campbell will go long. Redden against Cruz. Carey drifting back. Also McFarlane. Pointon's there for North Adelaide, but the ball wins and goes out of play.
The defensive work of Glenelg has really impressed me in the last half. Their players they've covered their opponents well, and they've been prepared to run when the opposition have lost the ball and when their own players have got the ball.
Read off, Salisbury on, throw in the forward pocket. Antrovich, they need him now, working hard for the ball, but that's out of play, and the throw-in will take place adjacent to the behind post. Reed going off the ground. I'm not sure whether he's going down or it looks like it's a pretty badly cut finger. Doesn't look all that good. The throw-in at the right forward pocket. He's done his job. Carey there took the high tackle, but a goal has been kicked but not paid. Carey has been paid the mark for a high tackle. He went down in a screaming heap, and Vic Surfer's not getting up in a hurry. Time is on his side. She won't be discoing tonight. Kick from the back pocket.
I think he'd put that one down to experience, Ian. The old fella's really playing well.
Gibbs gets it from Carey.
The difference is 25 points. North Adelaide, in almost 20 minutes of football, have only kicked 2 points. Bays have done well. Bennett to Carlaw, onto Elizabeth. Now Darren Jarman. This is a great chance for the Roosters. Darren Jarman from 45 metres out. A wonderful kick. That's a goal. That's the goal. The second to Darren Jarman. This game is certainly up and alive. 15-14 North, 19-9 the Bays. Top action on the second big load.
A lovely bit of play by Anthony there. He delayed his handball, waited for the movement, and it really just must send nightmares up Mickey Noonan's mind, because the little kid has got so much ability, but he just loses track of the course of the game through his, intentions to get involved.
Noonan shouting instructions to his players. 20 minutes into the last quarter. It still can be done. Is Marshall's going to change their mind? Parsons, Campbell, he gallops off. Caught on the left leg, puts it up in the air for Redden. The big fellow's up there at the back of the pack. It's Andrews again. Rides the bump, hooks back over his shoulder. I think he's got it. Oh, what a goal! Number 3, and North Adelaide are back in the fight.
Well, they're the things he can do, and that's what Andrews is known for. Down that forward pocket, pace, skill, ability, and the ability to kick goals with either leg, and that's what he's down there to do, and that's what he should be doing.
Very tired and weary. Peter Carey is off. Garden's on, and Andrew Jarman is off. Coming on for North Adelaide is Paul Zunkins. Important time now. 20 minutes gone. The difference is only 13 points, and Garden on for the Bays. McDermott takes it out of the air, can't get it clear. Now does to Tiller. Tiller gets the rebound. A handball searching for Sanders. Pop now, goes to ground, no push. Good umpiring by Rick Kinnear, and there's Andrew Jarman coming in. Bunty and Peter Carey certainly have worked very hard today. Jarman flanked by David Wildy, and Wildy who went off early in the game. Now, at the centre, Garton in there, also Parsons. The kick forward from Maynard, but for North Adelaide. Campbell, great pace, goes short. The pass has gone on too long for Carlaw, but buffering up from Hart. Hart steadies 35 metres out and goal. First to Hart, 7 points in it. What a game of football. 15-14 North Adelaide. 16-14 make that. Glenelg 19-9. Now comes
22 minutes gone. North Adelaide, 3 goals in 2 minutes. Bennett up there, gets the ball out towards centre wing, trying to ferret it out is Stringer, and the umpire will come in and bounce. It's a 7-point ball game. Thought the Bays had it scun when they went to a 25-point advantage, but North Adelaide had other ideas. Garden in there, Parsons, Garden towards Carlaw. The kick's a loose one. Stringer underneath the ball takes the defensive mark. Reaching out wide now to Gibbs. In turn looking for Alan Stringer close to the line. He's going to have to prop. In comes the ant. Out goes Stringer. And the ball finishes in the bunker. A throw in at the interchange gate. Parsons. Still plenty of time. 2 minutes of full time plus time on. I would think 5 or 6 minutes left. Time for a couple of goals at least. Henwood, Carlaw jams it onto his boot at the loose one again. Coming to meet it is Garden. Looks for help, whips out a handball. Hart intersects, couldn't find it. In goes Wayne Stringer. He's got problems. Grenville likewise. Ball forced out by Sanders. David Kernahan. The Bays go towards centre wing. Stormfree up there with Tiller. Simon comes to join that player. Arfield, luckily off the ground. Darren Jarman got problems. Pompa can't help Carlaw. Stringer's going to run him down. Oh, loaded him. The umpire said play on. Holding the ball. Oh, goodness me.
North Adelaide will have to get him to hurry on. The kick is out. Carlo in front. Kernahan couldn't get a hand on it. Over it goes to Arnold. Arnold took his eye off it. Stringer put him down. Bursting through Henwood. Ball. Play on. Pop held now a free kick. Oh, what for? I'm not sure. The Kings will have it. High tackle. Darren Jarman ducks that one. Drives the kick. Oh, off the side of his boot. This is going to be close to out on the ball. Hard. Forces the ball over the line for a throw in.
A little bit of panic creeping into some of the players now. A little bit of coolness required here.
Not only the players, they're throwing half forward right flank. It's Darren back there. Aerial ping pong. Darren Jarman out in front of Clock. One to beat. Down he goes. The umpire didn't play on. Still searching for the football in there. Is the base player in Wayne Stringer, and the umpire will bounce. It's a 7-point ball game. The strain showing on Carey and Dudley Corns, but what a magnificent effort the Bays have put in. 7 points the difference, still looking for somewhere to bounce the ball. Close down with a cramp. Parsons gets it out. Darren Jarman forces it in towards the pocket. Gibbs getting back, pointing there, but it's a throw in the right forward pocket with North Adelaide in attack.
7 points in it. North Adelaide about 35 metres from goal. They trail by 7. Up went Redden. Chance for Alan Stringer. Now a chance for the Bays to run it clear. Cruz has it. He'll go out towards centre wing. 3 North Adelaide players there, and Salisbury's beaten them. Well done, Salisbury. Chips in short with the left foot. It's wide of Maynard. Clisby went after it. The tackle was high on Maynard, and he's got the free just on the attacking side of centre. Maynard has it. Neil, you don't agree with it? Neil thought the ball hit him, but I'm sure that umpire Phil saw it the other way. Maynard goes for the towel. It's not the white flag, I hope, because the Bays are in front. Maynard's kick is towards half-forward. Chance for Salisbury. Oh, Tiller a little late. The ball held up in the breeze, and Salisbury has it. Chips in short to Simons. Possession football. Time ticking away. 27 minutes gone. The breeze strengthening. Simons will have to aim for that left-hand goal post. Kick is pushed out, won't make the distance. Popping has front spot, punch clear. Now Antrobus bursting out of the fence. Antrobus goes to the outer side. Bevy of Bay players, but it's a North Adelaide mark. Well done by Carlaw. 15 metres should be applied against Garton. If he's not careful, he'll get 30. Back he comes, and Carlaw to kick North Adelaide deep into attack.
Off goes Redden towards that player. With him is Cruz. Cruz at the back of the pack. McFarlane there, pointing likewise. And the ball will be thrown in from the right forward pocket. Who'd be a coach at a time like this? Corns on the edge of his seat. Redden been hooking the ball back in play from that right forward pocket all afternoon. 7 points down. They need a goal and they need it quickly. Garton goes towards the line again. Antrobus first there, but he can't keep it in play, or did he? Whatever he did, it's McFarlane who takes it out.
Yeah, that was a very valuable knock by young Garton, and he must prevent that ball from going over the back.
Michael Noonan, not looking perhaps as tense as Graham Corns. 28 minutes gone, must be close to the final siren. The Antrobus waits for the ball, gets into trouble, puts it out now. Here's the chance. Darryl Hart lost his footing, lost the football as well. Butters up again, still can't get in there, and the umpire will come in to bounce.
That was a bad mistake by young Hart. He lifted the eyes far too early, and he thought he had control of the ball, but he didn't have it.
Great concern on the faces of Carey and Corns. The destiny lies with the 18 out there at the moment, however. Picked up this time by Hart, goes short, Tiller getting back, got it. Probably too far out to score, but he'll drive North Adelaide right to the square. The kick is high. Garton in front, nobody to mark. Fisted clear by Cruz. McDermott goes for the line. North Adelaide players appeal for the free. But umpire Kinnear will have none of it. Throw in right half forward flank. 29 minutes approaching. Siren must be very soon, and the Bays in front by 7 points. McDermott has worked tirelessly all day, tries to keep it in play, and still in now out. Well done by McDermott. Throw in right half forward flank. Ian Day.
The Bays for mine, 7 points in it. Almost 30 minutes gone. The siren must be only seconds away, and the Bays have done it magnificently, but full marks to North Adelaide as well. Time still on the Bay side as they're content to bottle the ball up and let seconds tick away.
Gee, all players have really fought hard, and full marks the umpires.
Siren's gone. Draper into the Bays. Upset the top side. Carey, a magnificent performer. Final scores in a rip terror here at Prospect Oval. North Adelaide 17-14, 116 has gone down to Glenelg 19-9, 123.
Yes, and if that wasn't sensational enough, the game itself, of course, the after-game incident was even more sensational, and no doubt that and that will dominate our press during the week, and I guess we don't really need to say much more than that. The picture tells the story. Glenelg too good by 7 points. Too good, an incorrect phrase. Glenelg won the game by 7 points. Hall got 5, Seebohm 3, Marshall, McDermott, Copping, Reid and Maynard 2 each. And for North Adelaide, Redden, Poynton and Antrobus got 3 each, and DARREN, Jarman 2. And after the game, Ian Day caught up with Mick Noonan and Graham Corns.
Michael, a top game of football, but 7 points, not a lot in it, but just where weren't you quite good enough on the day?
Well, I agree. It was a very, very good game of football, and I think it was one of those games where I think the people who came along got their money's worth, and it was a good, strong, hard performance by both clubs. But in the end result, we just couldn't get the little bit of break that was needed. I think there was only about 20-odd points that separated the teams all day. In the end, when that break did come, it was our inability, I suppose, to just either get back at it or to finish a couple of plays off. But you know, I think you shouldn't take any credit away from the Glenelg Football Club.
Graham, a magnificent game of football, but gee, you ask a lot from Peter Carey.
Well, you ask a lot from all players, but you know, the trend for football teams these days is to have one key ruckman, and we probably didn't ask any more of him than the North Adelaide players did of their ruckman as well.
You had him in ruck all day.
Well, all but the last half of the last quarter, and he did it very well. I mean, he's wanted the responsibility and he's relished it, and we haven't really looked back since he's been rucking for 4 quarters.
Yeah, what an amazing game of football. And of course, Neil Curley will be with us on World of Sport tomorrow to talk about the game in depth. Also joining us will be Mick Armfield and Wayne Stringer. Not Alan Stringer, Wayne Stringer. More football after the break.